I thought I would walk and talk, and it's quite overcast at the moment and a little bit chilly, surprisingly, but nonetheless it's nice to be outside. I wanted to talk about sleep because I'm feeling a little bit sleep deprived. The last few weeks have been very busy. I've had too many early mornings, too many late nights, too many disrupted routines, and it's left me feeling a little bit tired. And as we all know, this can have an impact on us. We can have mood swings, and I definitely have been more up and down, less resilient to situations that occur. I haven't been weeping, but I'm more inclined to emotions, and I'm more inclined actually to reach for the wrong thing to eat. And I think it's quite important that we do focus on our sleep. There's my girls. I think it's underestimated in general by people. There has been rather a fashion in the Western world of just getting by on as little as you can. But actually that's no good for us, because there is quite an impact on our hormones. And as women in their mid-years, which is obviously one of my major focus, those in perimenopause, post-menopause, we're under the oak trees, I love this. There can be a knock-on effect, here they come, to our hormones. And we know that our sleep cycle can modulate really our, hormone level. It's a bit of a two-way, what's the word I want? You see, can't even think of the right words. Our hormones can affect our sleep can affect our hormones. I'm going to have to stop in a moment because I can see a jogger. I might have to get the girls on the leads. Oh, Molly, come here. I'm going to do it now. Come back to you shortly. Right, jogger's now gone. They stopped jogging. So it took longer. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, our sleep cycle impacts other systems of our body, and it can impact our hormones. Hormones can impact our sleep, which is what I was trying to say earlier. Our immune system can be impacted, our digestion, but we also see things like our glucose metabolism, our insulin tolerance. All these things can be impacted as well. So we do know that a lack of sleep or poor sleep cycle can actually induce weight gain and be relevant to obesity. And I think I've mentioned before that if we don't get enough sleep, losing weight can be a problem as well. So it affects our hormones that regulate our appetite, and these are ghrelin and leptin. Leptin sort of tells us we're full, and ghrelin tells us we're hungry, and they can be impacted. So it's not just our mood, it's not just the fact we might, our responses might be slower. It can in fact impact our systems on a very basic level. It's not helpful, is it? So what we need to do is really sort of boost our circadian rhythm, the rhythm of life, basically. So this sort of 24-hour clock rhythm, and it gets out of whack. And we all have something slightly different. I'm pretty good on 8 hours. Don't always get 8 hours. And you know, some people get up earlier than others. And actually, very interestingly, we're going to talk about how to recalibrate it. And I'll tell you how to do that first, then I'll tell you about a little study I read about. One of the best things to do, first thing in the morning, get out and get morning light. So having this routine, going to bed at the same time and getting up at the same time, whether it's, excuse me, I think I need to grab the girls. Just heading towards a track. Girls, stay here. I can't tell whether the noise is on the road or on the track. I think it's the road. Okay. Where was I? Yes. Reboosting our rhythm. It's good to have the routine where we go to bed at the same time every night, whether it's a weekday or a weekend, and get up at the same time. Girls, stop. Wait. Wait. actually, Luna's gone to bed. Molly, stop. Stop. Wait. Good girl, wait. Okay, cross the road. Luna, come. Luna's picking blackberries. One of her favourite pastimes. Oh, whatever I do, they like to do it too. So actually the blackberries here are ripening rather nicely. Come on, darling. Good girl. Yes, so it's, the body doesn't know if it's a weekend or a weekday. My dogs know. So if we get up in the morning, get out and get the first light, the light makes a difference to the production of other hormones actually. So there's cortisol and melatonin. Cortisol helps get us up in the morning. We know it as a stress hormone, that's what we call it normally, but it's also the hormone that rises, so it helps us get up and get going in the morning. And melatonin is secreted more at night to help us sleep, and that should be lower in the morning. But sometimes, we're going into the woodland now, sometimes they start rising when they shouldn't, and this is when we find it hard to get back to sleep or to wake up because they're going out of order. And sometimes cortisol can be seen to be very high in the evening for some people if you do a hormonal test. And but best thing to do is get the routine in place and get out first thing in the morning, get the morning light. And for some people, they say get the evening light before bed. I've not tried that per se, and obviously it depends on the hemisphere you're in and how much daylight you have. But when it comes to this study I read about, when people went camping, they didn't have any gadgets with them, so no blue light on a gadget, no phones, and they went to bed when the light went down, the sunlight, and they got up when they woke up in the morning, and apparently they were getting up earlier. Their circadian rhythms, when they tested their melatonin and cortisol levels, they'd improved enormously in a week, and in fact it can improve. Molly, come here. I keep pausing. This walk is usually incredibly quiet. I don't see anybody, and I've seen a jogger, cyclists, people walking dogs. I'm hoping this part will be quieter. So I love this. You can hear the road, but I love this walk. So, yes, I want to tell you about this study that I read about. And this group of people went camping. I think it was for about a week, roughly. And apparently this results can happen over a weekend. They got up with the sunlight, and they found over the week they started to get up earlier than they would at home in normal surroundings with lots of Wi-Fi and phones, etc. And on this camping trip, they left all tech at home. They didn't have any unnatural light, so they had firelight, and they went to bed when the sun went down. And over the week, they found that they were sleeping incredibly well. Oh my goodness, is that another? Oh yeah, excuse me. Here we go again. So, more dog walkers. Oh, I've never seen so many people. So yeah, by the end of the week, they tested the melatonin levels, the hormone that helps us go to sleep, before they went on this camping trip. And most of them, their melatonin wasn't where it should be. But after the camping trip, it was vastly improved. And apparently, even after a weekend camping, an improvement can be seen. So sunlight has greater power, I think, than we, again, give that credit for. I read about, or was listening to a podcast actually, about vitamin D and its impact on the immune system. But there's other things that sunlight gives us other than vitamin D that's also incredibly beneficial. And if you have vitamin D supplementation, if you don't get the sunlight, you don't get the full benefit. So, living a more natural life has huge health connotations. So, routine, sunlight, maybe sunset, and recommendations are also to use candlelight in the evening and firelight, which is much softer. What I tend to do is I have a normal routine, and I have a nighttime routine, and I tend to have a bath in the evenings and prepare myself for bed, going through the same routine. And I do find I will nod off very quickly, but last night I seemed to spend a lot of time awake. Sometimes I'm too stimulated, and after a week of not getting enough sleep, I think that was possibly one of the issues. So tonight I'm going to make sure I get back into the routine. Not eating too close to bedtime, important. And some people recommend you don't eat an hour before, you eat after an hour of getting up. So you get up, an hour later, have your first meal, but leave it an hour. I tend not to eat first thing anyway, and I have to say it works for me. Keeping the bedroom cool. I have the window open at this time of year because it's been particularly hot, but I do like it open most of the year, and have a cool bedroom. And I live in the countryside. We don't have any street lights in our village, so there's no light pollution. The only light we get is the moon, stars, and that's it. So I have a lovely dark room. I also have blackout blinds, which I tend not to pull in the summer because I like the air to come through. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat an early dinner, take a relaxed bath, take my time, go to bed, and go to bed a bit earlier than normal, and get up as normal tomorrow. So that's what I would recommend. And actually it does help when it comes to balancing hormones. Look at the light now. Balancing hormones, managing weight, managing our insulin sensitivity. It's important for that. Our use of glucose, our mood, all sorts. So yeah, good night's sleep recommended. So just thought I'd share that with you today. And actually exercise. Exactly, exercise. And again, they say not 90 minutes before bed because it can wind you up too much. And although I do like to watch a little bit, say, of Netflix before bed, I won't watch anything that's scary or that's going to raise my blood pressure, because I know I won't sleep if I watch something that's unsettling. So it's got to be a calming, light-hearted, nothing that I can fall asleep in the middle of if I need, nothing too thought-provoking. Now I think that's it. So I wish you a happy week, and I'll speak to you next weekend. And I'm hoping actually to talk a bit about protein, and how that affects us as we get older, the importance of it. So, and I want to hopefully simplify it for those busy people out there. So I'll see you then. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.